Hey everybody, Knight of Zawin here with my first ever battle report featuring me playing the Wood Elves versus my buddy Onyx playing the Warriors of Chaos at 2,000 points. The point of this channel is hopefully to provide you guys with some good battle reports and to follow me, my buddy Onyx, and Shy, who is playing Bretonians, as we build our armies, paint them, and eventually work our way up to going tournaments, and hopefully providing some good battle reports, laughs, and whatever along the way. So feel free to leave comments on rules we missed, painting ideas, army list ideas, all that kind of stuff. Just, of course, keep it family friendly and everything. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy the battle. As you can see, it's fought on a homebrew table with homemade terrain that was made by Shy, which we actually personally think the forest looks really cool for just using random pine cones and cardboards and everything. We're actually pretty fond of them. So I hope you enjoy the battle report, and here we go. Okay, starting with deployment, Chaos decides to deploy first. Going from left to right, well, you see a unit of 5 knights that's joined by an aspiring Chaos champion on a juggernaut. Behind them is a group of 10 chosen. Then is 20 marauders. In between the marauders and the warhounds, you see there a Chaos sorcerer of Nurgle with a familiar, so he'll have 3 spells. He starts at level 2, and the familiar gives him a 3rd war. 10 warhounds. Then you see 12 Chaos Warriors joined by his Sorcerer Lord of Tzeentch, level 4. And to their right is a proxy group of 10 Marauder Horsemen without the armor, so they remain light cavalry. His Sorcerer Lord had a weapon that gives him 6 attacks, I believe a Dispel Scroll, and his aspiring champion, and also the Chaos Blessing that causes an initiative test whenever he takes a wound in close combat. His aspiring champion just had some standard +1 strength sword, I believe. So as you can see, he deployed in a straight battle line, and I'm going to have another picture coming up of that shortly. And here's the other view, overhead view showing his entire army side to side. A bit intimidating for 2,000 points, especially staring my army in the face, who absolutely doesn't believe in armor. So I have quite the fight ahead of me. One good thing is you see that rock formation in front of him. That's considered impassable. The other rock formation you see on the table was just treated as difficult terrain. So we have 2 forests, both of course difficult terrain, 1 impassable, and a difficult rock. So here you have my army. My deployment from board to board side, going from left to right. You have an Altar Kindred with the Hail of Doom arrow. You have 12 Dryads. In that forest, though you can't see them right now, there are actually a unit of 10 Glade Guard back there. Then you see 3 Shuriken, another unit of 10 Glade Guard, joined by my Spell Singer, level 2, Laura Vathel Loren, my Treeman, 7 Glade Riders with a Spell Weaver, and 6 Way Watchers all the way down there on the far end. And my Spell Weaver is a level 4 using the Lore of Light. So as you can see, we're both spread straight across the board. My army doesn't look anywhere near as intimidating as his. In fact, I feel pretty low hitting. I'm a little afraid of his knights, his armor, just his ability to march across that board, get in my face, and of course just tear the Wood Elves apart. My only big hitters are that Treeman and the Treekin. My Dryads can kind of hold themselves, but they're nothing big. Here we have another picture that'll allow you to see, there you go, the right side of my deployment a little bit better. So there you see the Spell Singer with the other 10 Glade Guard, the Treeman, the Glade Riders with the Spell Weaver, and the Way Watchers. Those Glade Guard are still hiding behind that forest there, though. So that's deployment. Yeah. We'll start going into what spells we have and such. So for spells, my Spellweaver got Regrowth, the Dwellers Below, Awakening of the Wood, and Flesh of Stone. And for my Spell Singer, I got Ariel's Blessing and Tree Singing. For his spells, his Sorcerer Lord of the Lore of Tzeentch has the Blue Fire of Tzeentch, Bolt of Change, Tzeentch Firestorm, and Infernal Gateway, and his Nurgle Sorcerer got Rancid Visitations, Curse of the Leper, and Streams of Corruption. So his sound a lot scarier than mine. I've never really faced, Chaos. Still my first battle, really officially as a battle report. So we're gonna see how that goes. So Chaos turn one. Onyx and me roll off. He of course gets first turn and decides to take it. As soon as he starts, from the moment he moves, he just gets really aggressive, of course, as Cass does. He moves his entire army straight up. His Marauders move inside, you're going to see here, move inside the impassable terrain. His Warriors staying close on their left flank. His Warhounds stay back, and his Sorcerer moves up to get in range to cast a couple spells. You see his Chosen moving up there. Here we're going to have a picture of it in a second. The Marauder Horsemen, which are fast cavalry, move a little bit off to start holding that far flank. And the most terrifying thing he does, it's absolutely frightening, is he moves his Chaos Knights up full march, and this is where I find out they have the banner of the Ranger, which allows them to go right through that difficult terrain without an issue. So there you see them already halfway across the board. You're going to see a picture here. And that's the view from my poor little Glade Riders now staring just staring them in the face. Ugh, God, nasty. So for magic, nothing really happens. He tries to cast two spells. He tries to cast the Firestorm and the Curse of the Leper. They're both dispelled and smacked out. I would expected him not to have a shooting turn, but he did a measure. Apparently, his Marauder Horsemen have some javelins that they're going to be interested in chucking at us. But, of course, he's out of range, so Chaos turn one ends with just him charging across the board and trying to get into me as quickly as he can. So, for Wood Elf turn one, I'm just thinking to myself, what am I going to do about those knights? I have nothing that can face them in hand-to-hand combat. My Thunderstomp won't work on them. I know they got some dangerous stuff in there that would even be able to tie my treatment up for the entire battle. So I do the only thing I can do. I move my Spellweaver out of the Glade Rider group, and I move my Glade Riders right up to redirect the charge from those Chaos Knights. I move my Tree Man up as well on their right flank, but he will be out of the overrun, so that they can't overrun onto either my Treeman or the Spellweaver, and he's in Rune of Strangle Roots. There you see my Waywatchers moved up to the right flank of the Knights, so that they can get some pot shots off. I decide not to charge so I can shoot everything I can at this unit of Knights this turn, and just deal out as much damage as I can before they start killing things. So there's a close-up of my Glade Riders valiantly facing down their death, and the Tree Man standing off to the side, just supporting them, saying, I love you guys. As for the rest of my army, I decided to play really conservative. I move my Treekin up to start marching towards the enemy. My Dryads don't move, neither do either unit of my Glade Guards, but I do take my Altar Kindred, and I run him right up into the forest that's in front of the Warriors, which ended up being a regular forest, ordinary forest on Mysterious Terrain, with the intention to drop the Hail of Doom arrow on the Warriors when I get to my shooting phase. So that's my movement. I'll give you this picture to contemplate while I do my magic. My magic was pretty uneventful. I tried to put Delvers Below on the Marauders. They failed that cast, so my Spellweaver was out. Then I tried to do Tree Singing. It was dispelled. I tried to do Tree Singing again. I did move a forest closer to the Warriors, the one with my Altar Kindred in it. And then I tried to cast Tree Singing again to deal damage to the Warriors, and that was dispelled. So I only really managed to move a forest. My shooting phase, however, is a bit more eventful. My Glade Guard opened up into the Marauders, managed to deal out 1 wound out of 5 hits. Then everything I had shots from the Glade Guard, I had shots from the Waywatchers, shots from the Tree Man, and I only managed to kill 2 Knights. Then my Altar Kindred opened up with the Hail of Doom arrow and managed to wound 4 Chaos Warriors. So 2 Knights, 4 Warriors, 1 Marauder down. And now we go into Chaos turn 2, which just opens up with, of course, a slew of charges. So to begin with, he charges, of course, his Chaos Knights into my pretty much already removed Glade Riders. They're not going to do anything in that combat, and I'm not loving it at all. His Chaos Warriors charge my Alter Kindred. They take one death from the difficult terrain, and I flee. I think I'm pulling a really smart move here. I flee, I get away, they fail their charge, but then I forget. Yeah, that's right. I just fled right into the Marauder Horseman's charge arc. So he declares that charge and just chases my Alter Kindred right off the table. Ugh, already gone. So, as you can see, this overhead view, the rest of his army just kind of comes up to back up the elements that are already right in my face. His Chosen are walking around that difficult terrain to try and get at my Way Watchers. His Marauders are coming up the middle. His Warhounds are backing up the Marauder Horsemen. So, for Chaos Magic, I actually get really lucky. He gets both spells off at my Treekin, Rancid Visitations and the Blue Fire of Tzeentch, but ends up causing not a single wound. Oh, God. And then combat, as you could have guessed it, went exactly like I expected it to. I didn't deal a single wound to his knights. They broke my Glade Riders and ran them down. So, Wood Elf turn 2. Sometimes you get lucky, even when you screw up. So, me losing that Alter Kindred right on the second turn actually opened up his Chaos Warriors for a flank charge from the Treekin. Ugh. Perfect. Couldn't ask for better. So they make the charge, and then my Treeman makes a long charge on the Marauders. However, we made a mistake. We did the measurements. We charged him and everything, but then we forgot he causes terror. So we went back, we rolled it, and yep, that's right. The Marauders failed. They fled right through his Chaos Warrior, his Chaos Sorcerer, rather, who passed his panic test. But they're on the run. They fled 7 inches back, and my Treeman just stood there and laughed. My Way Watchers moved behind the Knights and out of the charge arc of the Chosen, and put them that difficult terrain between them and the Chosen. And then my one unit of Glade Guard swift reformed to stare those Knights in the face with their bows. And hopefully I'm just... God. Oh, and my Spellweaver there moved into the forest with the other unit of Glade Guard and the Dryads who are sitting there because they're stubborn when they're in forest. But, God, I gotta shoot everything I have at those Knights. So going into Magic, we have his Marauders fleeing. I have a flank charge on his Warriors. I have his Knights set up to take a whole bunch of pot shots. My Way Watchers are safe. My Weaver is safe. My Dryads are staring his Marauders in the face. I'm ready to drop some spells. And nothing goes. He dispels scrolls, he dispels everything, shut me down. So we go into shooting. Here we have his Knights, standing here, looking all my arrows in the face, and I just start rolling. And now let me tell you, I shot everything I could at them. Way Watchers, Glade Guard, didn't matter. So this is before, and this is after. I ate the last 3 Knights. They were gone. I just couldn't miss with my arrows. He failed all the armor saves, and all that was left was his Aspiring Champion on the Juggernaut, and I just couldn't believe this. He was lost for words, too. I'm standing here going, I cannot believe wow. Just wow. So then combat comes up, and again... he had the Flaming Banner on the Chaos Warriors, and it scared the bejesus out of me. I had no idea he had that, and I just charged my Treekin right into flaming attacks, and he whiffed. And then I returned, killed 2, and won the combat with the flank charge and 2 wounds, and he fled right through the Warhounds, who luckily passed their panic test. And that's the end of Wood Elf turn 2. So Chaos turn 3, he looks at the board, and I look at the board, and we look at each other, and he just starts scrambling. He has to do something. We both know he does, because this is just falling apart for Chaos, and it doesn't make any sense. So he starts rolling, and that's right. His Marauders fail to rally. So they get ever closer to the battle board edge, and they're effectively out of the battle at this point. Even if they rally next turn, they're not going to be able to get back in. His Warriors rally, and then he sends his Warhounds into my Treekin through the forest and takes 3 deaths to dangerous terrain. He then sends his Marauder Horsemen into my Dryads who are in the forest and are going to be stubborn, so I'm fine with that. And again, here's a close-up of the Warhounds going in the Treekin and the 3 deaths that were suffered from the difficult terrain. He moves his Chosen around the the difficult terrain, to get a look at both my Treekin and my Way Watchers. So I'm, again, thinking about what I got to do over there, because those Chosen are scary, even though I've been keeping them out of the battle for the most part. Here he takes his Aspiring Champion to just come chase down my Glade Guard. He is so angry at them. He's got my Weaver over there. My Glade Guard, just so much stuff he can chew through. That just terrifying. So going into magic, he actually manages to get a spell off on my Treekin, the Curse of the Leopard, that reduces my toughness by 2. So now I'm worried these Warhounds can actually hurt me. So we go into combat and we start doing the dice, and once again, yep, that's right, the Treekin rip apart those Warhounds and send them right back through the warriors, who are immune to psychology so they don't panic, but they were just sent packing. So the only other combat we had that turn was the Marauder Horseman charge into the Dryads. The Dryads, of course, have initiative 6, so I gather all my dice together, 2 attacks per Dryad, 3 for the leader of the Dryads, and yep, that Marauder unit was cut down before it even had a chance. It, of course, breaks, and he rolls so low, my Dryads managed to run him down and eliminate that piece from the board. So Wood Elf turn 3. At this point, I find myself in the rather strange situation of playing Wood Elves and wondering, well, how do I want to go about mopping up the rest of this chaos? My Treekin charge through the forest into the warriors and complete that charge, and I'm looking forward to that battle there. Again, forgetting they have flaming banners. My tree man moves up to block the charge of the Chosen. I'm very confident of the fight there. My treeman's very strong, 6 wounds, thunderstop against infantry. I just like how that looks. My Way Watchers find his Chaos Sorcerer out in the open and able to be moved into within the killing blow range. So I move up and I set myself up to get ready to take some pot shots. Then both my Glade Guard units do a swift reform to stare down his aspiring champion, and I saw in his face he knew what was coming. He was not excited about it, not in the least. He was not ready for it. And so magic is a wash. Nothing happens. I'm stopped all over the place, so we go into shooting. And as you can see, you see all those high numbers there. That's all shooting at the aspiring champion. And that's right. He just falls, and he's a pincushion. Glade Guard arrows, 21 in total, just launched at him, and just they brought... I cannot believe that I'm just wiping him out, and it's just going too perfect. So, and again, in the same, just the Treekin in close combat, just finish off the warriors, taking all of them down and killing the Sorcerer Lord. So at this point, we're thinking about calling it, but Onyx, to his credit, wants to roll everything out, wants to finish the game, wants to make our battle report complete. So he charges his Chosen into my Treeman. My Treekin overran into his Warhounds, and can you believe it or not, his Marauders failed again and fled off the board. They're gone. They didn't even enter the fight. The moment they were terrorized, they just kept running. So, of course, magic is a wash. His Lord and his Sorcerer are gone, goes to combat, and my Treeman just smashes the Chosen down to 2. He sticks on insane courage, and we're loving it. This is just, it's just perfect chaos. They're getting annihilated, but they're still fighting, all for the gods, and then it's over. The last Chosen goes down, and the chaos are completely tabled by the Wood Elves. I lost only 1 Treekin, my Glade Riders, and my Altar Kindred for a complete tabling of the chaos. So things learned from my army: charge arcs are huge. Stay out of them, manipulate them, use them, draw the enemy into the half range of my archers. It just do all of that. Things he learned: be more versatile. Don't let your knights get caught out. Keep your army together. Don't worry about dancing around. Don't let me get some of the charges. He should determine some of the engagements. Technically, every engagement that was had this game was pretty much decided by me. Even his Knights and my Glade Riders, I was the one that put up the redirect. The Dryads and the Marauders, I gave him no one else to charge. The Treekin into Warriors, and just, it was, all the luck went my way. Dice, combat matchups, just everything was so perfectly. Magic washed that no one got an upper hand via Magic. It was just, but it was a really good game. We had loads of fun, absolute loads of fun. Lots of fun. We were playing outside, as you can see. It's something that we plan to do all summer, so I look forward to bringing you some more great battle reports. Please click if you liked it, and feel free to comment. Thank you very much.